Hello everyone, welcome to ThinkStack. So yeah, this is a new YouTube channel. So yeah, I'm just gonna explain what this YouTube channel is about and what we're doing here. Yeah, so I'm getting started. Yeah, so basically, welcome to ThinkStack again. And this is I would say a software engineering channel mainly, which is nowadays rapidly changing software engineering, right? So this is because of the AI, and it can like nowadays the AI can generate the code, write test, or it can even explain the concept or help you in debug or design system, right? So that's where we are with the AI. But uh, like how basically ThinkStack comes in a picture, right? And there's AI can help you let's say for example build you a URL shortener or a payment system or a chatbot application, but like how do you know whether it can handle whatever the AI build? It can handle 10 users or 10 million users or 100 million users, right? That's where I would say basic core engineering fundamentals matters, right? So you should know about those, yeah. And now coming to the goal of the channel, right? So basically over the years I've worked in the back-end engineering systems, so mainly large scale real world system, I would say. Okay. So I've noticed many engineers who focus on the problem solving or rely on learning frameworks, right? So, but the strong engineers needs both, right? Where basically uh, you need to have the problem solving mindset because that is a core of it, right? If you know the problem solving, that then you can solve a DSA problem or a system design problem, build a system for the millions of users, right? You'll not face any problems, right? The mindset is a problem-solving mindset that you should have as an engineer, right? Right? Irrespective tying to a framework or something, right? Right. You should be adaptable in that way, right? Just giving an example, right? Like basically, just if I give you example, right? If in any interview, right? So you need to deduplicate the elements, right? So just one example, like a deduplicate the elements. That's a DSA problem. So you should know which data structure to use to deduplicate this, right? Now, if the same thing I ask for a different way, right? I need a product recommendation system, right? Now that's a recommendation system, right? Now, basically, recommendation system is like a system design, right? Where you need to recommend a product for the millions of users and there will be millions of products as well, right? So you need to recommend the product based on the user's interest, right? So you need to build that system, right? So that's sort of a system design, right? Problem, right? Now coming to the data structure problem, right? So let's say, I would say, imagine you have a million user, right? Or a million product. Now I would say, let's say you have a 1 million product, right? Just giving a couple of examples so that you get to understand, right? Now in the million products, right? So basically, so there is a request which comes to you, seek if this product X product exists or not before inserting, right? So now if X product comes, so you should know when request comes. So it's a combination of system design and DSA, right? Where you need to keep the hot products somewhere so that you can instantly give rather than iterating the 1 million products, right? So keeping the hot product in the let's say hash map or somewhere in memory, right? So that whenever the request comes, so you just look at it and just give it, right? Right. And I would say even this 1 million can be let's say 100 million products also, right? So just keeping the memory check intact, right? Yeah, I'm not storing everything in memory, right? Just giving example, it's like you should be thinking from the system design point of view as well from the DSA point of view. So both. It's just one another example that I gave you, right? So that way you'll be able to handle it, right? So now coming to the point, what all things we might cover in the DSA, right? So just a high level view, right? So basic we'll cover like arrays, hash maps, right? Trees, graphs, and DP, dynamic programming, or interview pattern based questions which are trendy, right? Now, coming to the basically, this is just a view like what DSA at a high level, these are the core concept we'll work on. Okay, from the system design point of view, right? I'm just gonna cover in this introductory call so that we all know, right, what we are getting into, right? So basically, let's say if I give you an example of let's say food delivery app, right? Now in the food delivery app, right? So you have one user, like let's say users are there, and you have basically a server which is managing the food delivery app backend, let's say, and you have a database also, right? Now, basically your app should be like whether you are working with a one user, 100 user, or a million user, right? All uh, for all use cases, right? The design of the system differs, right? It should not be like for a one user you're designing the same system, then the million user, then 100 million, then 1 billion, let's say, right? So your system design differs, right? So the I'm just trying to point out like what sort of things that goes through, right? So let's say some of the problems, right? I'm just gonna come into, right? Uh, let's say uh, for a million user, right? So let's say for 100 user, if I talk about, you might not be facing a like, let's say even if you return a raw query, or I would say slow query, database slow down, or a, let's say user experience delay, right? Some of the metrics, right? But once that same system goes for a million user, you start facing those problems, right? So I'm just trying to say that the system design differs for the each of the use cases, right? Okay. So basically, I'm just trying to say these all things we'll learn in the videos of the system design and other concepts, basic concepts of, let's say, load balancing and caching. These are the, right, and the database scaling, and some of my experience during my some of the earlier days, right, where what sort of challenges that I faced. Yeah. So those are some of the things that we'll cover. These are the basics, right? Just I'm giving you some of the basics that we'll touch upon, right? And yeah, other thing like for the event-driven thing, right? Like most of the like I would say distributed systems are event-driven, right? So for those, like we'll cover Kafka, any messaging system, I would say, not specific to Kafka, messaging system, I would say, and the protocol, right? So those things we'll cover in the system design video. And at the same time, these DSA or a system design, right? All the distributed system. So like central point is AI, how you can use AI to work efficiently across all these your DSA, system design, or debugging, right? So how you can leverage AI to uh, basically make your productivity boost up, right, in all of the domains. That will help you in cracking interviews for the top companies, and that will help you build your like systems in your current company or as part of learning also, right? And that will help you in debugging also, right? Debugging in the sense key basically, if you're in the critical issues, right, how you can leverage AI to just fast forward, like analyze the logs, or I would just giving them some example, right? Or thinking of a different strategy. Yeah, these are the cases. Now, how should I approach it? These are the possible routes I have. How should I go and which one should I choose? AI can help you in some background task and those things. I'll talk about it, right, in my system, in the AI related videos where how AI can assist you for the development, right? So those are the things. So in the overall, right, I just want to say what we'll cover as part of this channel is I was saying DSA, system design, and then with a distributed system mainly, I'm focusing on system design, even monolith also, like non-distributed also, yeah, or I would say AI assisted development, right? Assisted development. If this all sounds interesting, right, please subscribe and join the journey, okay? And hit the like for this video. And I would say the motto of the ThinkStack is just learn, design, skill. That's our goal. And thank you, everyone. See you soon in the upcoming videos.